Hello and welcome. You are listening and, well, indeed watching a brand new game by Peter Arthur Charles Lawrence and Evil Pac-Man. And today I'm going to be commentating over a replay of a game I played versus another guy on 1v1 Auto Match on Company of Heroes 2. Now, this is the first Company of Heroes 2 gamecast I've actually done, and it's actually the first live commentary of a game I've actually done besides, you know, basically Rise of Flight. But here we go. Now this is going to be really basic because I'm not a pro at this, but anyway. I'm versing a guy playing as the Russians, obviously, Axis versus Allies, and he goes to capture the first point. Now, I don't do that. I set up a machine gunner here, and I set up a Kampfgruppe headquarters as well, and I send these guys out. The reason I do this is because you want to grab a machine gun first now. Anyway, this is the start of the game. Pretty interesting. It's pretty slow paced at the moment. This is a lot slower paced than the original Company of Heroes. Why, I don't know, but it just feels a bit slower. Then again, it's still in the teething problems at the beginning, seeing as this is only a beta. Anyway, we've got things going on right now, and we've got a guy, Combat Engineer Squad, see? There we are, they're warming themselves by the fire, capturing the point. Meanwhile, back at his base, he has started building a special rifle command. Is currently sitting up at the 120 mark on the minute counter now. And I'm bringing in a Grenadier squad already. So I've got second tier infantry and a machine gun already up while he's taking his time. He's building a rifle command, though he's probably going to bring up some penal battalions or something or other. Okay, he's got a second engineer squad. Alrighty. Okay, I'm capturing the munitions point. The other one, the machine gunner, goes to take this building here. The reason I want this building is because it gets a good trajectory and a field of fire over this fuel point here, which will allow me to defend it. Also, keep an eye over here so it prevent any infantry coming down this road here, or indeed this road here. Now, down here, he's starting to capture the fuel point down the bottom and get the victory points coming in. Now, I decide to be a little bit of an asshole here. The key point to this map is this bit here, this point. This point is pretty much the cutoff point for these guys. Now, you can't have this fuel point or any of the resource points down here if this fuel point or this point is controlled by these guys. Okay, I bring in another machine gun team. He's capturing this point. Now, notice my machine gun isn't firing. He's just covering this point here. Now, I'm cutting him off here, which makes it really difficult for him. Now, on reflection, I should have put a machine gun in here or in here straight away, but at this point, I didn't think about that. Anyway, now he's coming back to try and capture a few points, to try and get me, but I decided to go for the old traditional method and go for the kill. Now, German engineers are a lot better at close range. They're armed with the MP40 Schmeissers, 9mm, and they're very effective at close range. Now, not only that, I'm going to make his life more uncomfortable by bringing in the Grenadiers. Now, I micro here. These guys are in cover. They're shooting at me. So I bring him back. My MG42 has started covering the fuel point now. He's gone to try and cap it, and now his men are pinned down. They can't move. Now, I pull back. I get out of here to pull back to heavy cover. And I'm just trying to fight here. And look over back here. We've got him pulling back his engineers back to his headquarters. Now, I'm going to say right now that I'm not very experienced in Company Heroes 2. I am only a level 4. Now, I'm firing here, and he throws a grenade, so I push forward immediately. My engineers... So his grenade blew up most of his own men, and we both pull back at the same time to save our units. So it's a draw. My guys are pulling back, but at this point, I've decided to push up a machine gun and dig it in here now because I've suddenly realized my mistake. And now I'm back at my base. I brought in some engineers. I'm going to set up a light armored command. Now this allows me to bring out a Dufka, or a Doof machine. And it's a good thing that I'm doing that too, because unbeknownst to me at this point, though I find out later, he has started bringing out snipers. Now the scout cars and the Doof cars have been reformed into one unit. You just need to upgrade to the 20mm cannon. So my machine gun being here is actually really important. So I think that I'm on the back foot at the moment. However, my position is a lot better than it actually is. Okay, so now he's broken off the supply lines, and he's getting his supply line back. I'm pushing my flamethrower infantry up, and I'm trying to organize everything. My MG42 is basically forcing them out of this zone. He's got a zone of control. Now, if you look over here, he's just produced an American half-track, like a Jeep thing, that he's going to load up with infantry. And this causes me quite a problem, but that's okay because I've got stuff coming out as well. Now, in my light command, I don't have anything being built yet. As you can see, I don't have nearly enough fuel. So that takes 25% fuel. So I retreat my machine gun and get them away. And now I realize that I'm going to have to do something about this. So I bring up my infantry unit, which has a Panzerfaust. Now, this is only like this is actually my first 1v1 auto match, so I'm still working everything out here. And he's pushing me back right now. He's actually pushing me back. This M3A1 is going to really cause me some problems. So I'm trying to sort things out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to work things out. And here he is. He's got his 50 cal machine gun making a thudding noise. I'm asking my guys to fire their Panzerfaust, but they're not doing it. Here he goes. Boom. Bang goes the engine block. And I pull back. So now he pushes me back with that. And I bring in some Panzer Grenadiers. Because I've only got manpower at this stage. I bring in some Panzer Grenadiers to help me clean things up a bit. Okay, now there's a blizzard approaching, and that's a new feature in Company of Heroes 2, is the fact that there are now weather effects that cut out air support and other sort of things and make your soldiers freeze. Yeah, I really like the detail in this game. It adds a certain different dimension to it, but I don't think it actually sort of makes that much of an impact as everyone thought it would. Okay, this is my army. I've got quite a few units here ready to go, which are going to come in handy later when I push out of my base, but as you can see, the victory point tickets, I'm not doing too well, and that's a bit of a downside, but nevertheless. Now, as you can notice, he is taking the tickets away from me because I am not focusing for tickets here. I am focusing on defeating the enemy. This is an old mentality I've always had. I try to kill the enemy and then secure a better position and then take the victory points. However, in this situation, it's looking pretty fatal. It's looking bad for me. I am losing at this point. I am definitely losing. I would normally give up in this situation, but I decide not to. I decide to stick with it. Now, I unlock a commander. Now, I do not like the fact that the Doofkar, as it was called in the original one, the Doofkar, has been nerfed, but it's still an effective weapon against light armor. So here we go. We have a 20mm cannon on board. Now, he drives up. Now, the problem with playing as the Soviets is you have to really be careful about how you deploy your heavier units, because the Soviet units are, genuinely speaking, less effective in combat. Okay, he has left snipers in a building. I don't know why you would do such a stupid thing, but... Okay, my machine gun's about to get raped because he's got flamethrowers in that Jeep. And then suddenly, the tide turns. Okay, now he's lost his vehicle. That's a big hit at early game stakes. Now he's having to pull back his guys so they don't get raped. The machine gun is pinning them down. My infantry are pushing up on them. And now the tide of the battle has turned again. The tide has turned. And now, as we can see, my units start moving out of their base. Now that I've turned it around and secured a foothold, I decide to go on the offensive. I decide to take points. I decide to push up. I get his snipers out of that building in a short order, and I genuinely am proud of that. I'm starting to build a sniper of my own. However, he doesn't come into play very much. He was a bit of a waste. I waste a lot of units, but I actually pull it out of my arse to save the day, so... Interesting. I must admit, though, the voice acting in this game is actually really awesome. You see, the big thing about the Germans is they're really concerned about their units. They're really concerned about their men. Whereas if you play the Russians, they basically complain about your men freezing to death because their uniforms and their gear belongs to Russia. And that you're not supposed to let them die because that means we have to go and get it. It's best to keep your soldiers alive only for the purpose of bringing their gear back. Alright, back at his base, he's built an AT gun to get rid of my armored car, which he does. He's got flamethrower squads. And I've captured a victory point back, evening the odds. In fact, I'm capturing both at this point, which means the ebb and flow of the game has now turned around. I'm also bringing a sniper up. Now, German snipers aren't really as effective as Russian ones because Russians get 2 per squad. Okay, they get 2 snipers. Or 1 sniper and 1 bolt action. Now that I've secured this point, I've cut him off from the fuel point, which I'm going to go down and get very shortly. I bring in another scout car to bring in some things, just to make sure. Okay, he has a flamethrower here, and that makes me nervous. I have a machine gunner hiding behind this building here. He doesn't see him. That flamethrower is really giving me problems. Now he has made a mistake here. He hasn't brought up his AT guns yet. And now my machine gun has come into play. And it's making their life a misery. Now I've got 2 armored cars on the field. He's only got an AT gun and a couple of AT guns and this thing. However, if I employ my... Now my armored car suddenly sees the AT guns and I back up like a motherfucker. I'm getting out of here. However, my armored car derps and doesn't evacuate properly and gets killed. Now I wanted him to drive away out here, but again, just like in the original Company of Heroes, it's a bit derpy. And the armored cars and the vehicles don't exactly follow orders all the time. They don't take the direct route. They wiggle about a bit, so they get killed. But this one man, this guy deserves an Iron Cross. He is single-handedly holding down 2 AT guns and a flamethrower squad. Now, with him totally obsessed with getting my machine gun and everything out of here, I bring my Panzer Grenadiers forward. Now, these guys have got Sturmgewehrs, so they push them entirely out. Meanwhile, over here, I've got a sniper covering this access here, so he can't sneak any squads around me. Meanwhile, I've got my armored car here, and I'm sort of sitting into this position and hoping to hold it. Now, I was hoping to kill these AT guns. I was hoping to kill at least 1. Now, I bring in another sniper just to be annoying, and I start on my support armor core. Now, this will come in handy later. Now, he pushes his flamethrower jeep up here and I start shooting at it with that. And I pull my armored car back, and I'm going to change direction, and I'm going to push him up there to help him out. Now, his AT guns are here, making sure I don't base rush. And he's waiting for me to try and base rush him. Now, I don't micro my snipers very well. Unfortunately for him, he leaves his other jeep away. Now, he doesn't set his machine gun up fast enough, and he retreats it immediately after he set it up, which is a very stupid thing to do. However, I'm not complaining. It worked out for me. Now he has a sniper dug in here. And I pull my guys back. So another blizzard's coming. I pull my armored car back, and I pull him back to about here. Okay, let's speed time up a bit. Alrighty, now as you can see, he's bringing up more infantry here. Now, here he is. He's dug in like a bitch. He's expecting me to come this way. Why you would do this, I have no idea, but It's certainly effective, to say the least. It will kill vehicles, but you're really lessening your AT capability. Okay, he moves up this way. And I have guys dug in all over the map, ready to respond. And I've got another guy here. So I decide that I should flank him, and my Panzer Grenadiers go around this building here and try to flank him while I bring up machine guns over here. Okay, he has two snipers here watching my doof car, and I don't know why he's doing it. Now, this is what really scares me. He's redeployed his AT guns to cover that position. Now, I upgraded this squad with Panzer Shreks. Now, there is very sound wisdom in this, because Panzer Shreks absolutely rape. Now, I don't see this machine gun in this building until far too late. And so I fire Panzer Shreks at the building. Now my doof car starts pushing up. And at that point, I bring in an AT gun myself. This guy does almost absolutely nothing in this whole game. Now at this point, I'm getting worried, because that AT gun shouldn't be doing as much damage as it should. And then I realize that I'm being outflanked, and I retreat everybody. Now at this point, the situation's not good, so I decide that I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to take this point. So let's speed it up. I decide that this is a better option, and I take up the north. Now for some reason, whatever reason, he keeps redeploying his AT guns. He thinks I've gone considerably armor heavy, which I have not. I've decided to bring out some Panzer Grenadiers because they seem to be really effective. They seem to be all over the place. They're pushing people back. Now he brings out these two snipers here. I think that's an unwise decision. And, well, it only ends one way. His two AT guns are starting to get picked off by this guy here, who is seriously causing a problem. Now, the blizzard is ended. And here it comes. Now, he's constructed a T-70 light tank. He's got an armor commander. However, he's rushed for one of these things. When I see this, I realize that I am so fucking screwed, and that my situation is going to get horrible if I don't do something. However, I also know that I have Panzerfaust. Now he's pushed up with his machine gun here, and he's going to cover this position. He's going to use that to take it. AT guns can capture points now, which I think is hilarious. And he sends a penal battalion to deal with me. And my Panzer Grenadiers turn up. However, my sniper gets killed. And I ignore that penal battalion. And I go for the AT gun, because I need that dead. Now, I'm microwing my Grenadier squad meanwhile, and I am trying to kill this key tank, this T-70. And I'm trying to get a Panzerfaust shot off, but it's not quite working for me. So I'm forcing to multitask, and here they are. A tank hunter squad. Standing by. Now, I have got a fuck-off Panzer Shrek on board this baby. However, I dropped one over there somewhere. Or it may have got destroyed, I don't know. But yes, the balance of the battle is still shifting. Now I'm going to speed it up again. Now, this is really good. I outflank his machine gun, distracted by my flamethrower. Bang! Almost the entire squad destroyed. And I push forward. Dead. Okay. Now he's getting repaired. And he's got a half-track. And he's also got another AT gun out. He's got two AT guns out, getting repaired. Meanwhile, he has given up the field to me, which I put immediate use to, and I start capping everything up. And this is my culmination. A Panzerkampfwagen 4. Now, my Panzer Shreks immediately go to work here. However, they don't kill this thing. I was expecting them to kill it, but they didn't do it. They destroyed the engine, and I had to pull these guys out. I thought they were going to get one last shot off, but they didn't. So my machine gun has to wait. Now the thing about this is, I am now about to even it out. Here comes my Panzer IV. And he is about to deal some serious damage. This half track, they're repairing it. Hey, it's okay, it's all good. I missed the first shot, but they're like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on? Their engine's still gone. Bang! Machine gun fire everywhere. Boom! Tank shell going off. Oh! And now I go on the attack. Get the fuck out my way, kid. Get the fuck out my way. I do not give a fuck. This little guy has no chance. He's trying to run away, but it's too late. He turns his rear armor to me. Bang! He's trying to lead me into the AT guns. I know what he's doing. I can see it happening. I know what's happening. This little ridge here saves my tank from destruction, and he hides. Now, I know he's trying to lead me into AT. However, he does not realize this little caveat. He thinks he's safe. I drive around this little hill. Surprise, motherfucker! Boom! Cherry pick it, and I push forward on the AT guns. I realize they're out of position, and I charge him. Now, he's freaking out at this shit. Oh, what the hell do I do? I rush through. Kill a guy on the way through. I used my tank as a sort of scout, and there's his army. That's all he has. Okay, my tank takes a glancing blow. However, it's not much damage. Now, look what I brought out here. An Ostwind. Now, this Ostwind is pretty damn lethal. It's good against infantry. But nevertheless, it is pretty effective. So now, my tank, I'm microing my tank like a boss. Micro, micro, micro. Everyone loves micro. I pull him behind this ridge again. Duck him out of sight. And I use the building as cover, and then I disengage. Now I'm bringing in an Ostwind. Now this is the thing. The situation looks like it's going against me. Ostwind. It's absolutely insane. Now look, I have now got a Stuka, and this is important. Now, the situation gets desperate. I leave my Ostwind here. He expects me to rush his base. Look at all this. Look at all this. What is this? He has 5 AT guns. He thinks I'm going to try and armor rush him. He doesn't realize, of course, that this is freaking victory point and I can just camp. Anyway, he's got AT guns. He thinks I've gone tank heavy. In fact, I'm starting to go infantry heavy now because I realize he's going to think I'm going tank heavy. I only need a couple of tanks. The Germans are absolutely fantastic at tanks. I don't need to worry about it. I'm just going to keep on going. Anyway, my Ostwind is working things out. It's really fucking cold. But nevertheless, my guys are all out in the cold right now, but I'm trying to get everyone next to fires and get some campfires going. Here comes the AT creep of doom. He's trying to tempt me to engage my tanks where he can destroy them and then push forward with his vehicle. Now at this point I realize what he's doing and I start bringing in mortars. Now this is the situation at hand. I could bring in an elephant tank destroyer if I wanted one, but alas I do not. I want something that can get rid of this. Now this is horrible. This is scaring me. He has enough AT to set up kill zones all the way along my approaches. Now I think it's a good idea. I push forward. Insta-gift. Just absolutely insta-gibbed. I am in complete shock. I have no gun on board that can still fight this thing. I'm completely routed. I pull back everything. It just gets killed. Now, look at all this AT. It is just horrible. At this point, I decide that the situation is pretty much dire. I mean, I'm not worried about their attack as such, because let's face it, he hasn't got much to attack with. I set up mortars and start dropping shells. Now, at this point, it's looking pretty desperate for me, so I decide that with all his guys down here, I should push this way. Now, look at this. Oh my god, what the fuck? I'm thinking, holy shit, this situation is not good. I'm trying to set up my mortars. I did not expect it to do that. My AT gun, his AT gun, it's crazy. Shit's hitting the fan. I don't know what's going on. I decide to call in a Stuka. And we'll hold the magic. Close air support at its finest. Boom! All of them gone. His entire army destroyed. With that done, I push forward with everything I've got. I go on the attack. My men push forward and attack with a vengeance. They push and kill everything in their path. They're not worried. The machine guns are gone. The snipers are dead. The AT guns are all scrapped. His entire army has been completely destroyed. He thinks he has only got 2 men left from that entire attack, with my machine gun on my tank rattling away, and it's pushing them back. I could not believe what had just happened. Me and my friend were absolutely screaming at the time. We were absolutely going mental. I start taking the final victory points back, as well as the other one here. And I start microing my tank to kill them all. He's trying to pull away, but he just can't do it. He can't launch a tank. Nope, there goes another AT gun. He is down to 1 AT gun. From all of those AT guns, he is down to 1, no 2. He builds another one. Now here is the game changer. This is what his last investment is. A T-34 tank. At this point, I realize it's bad. I lose this guy because I realize that it's not a good situation. I call in another Stuka, this time on this solitary guy. Here we go. Oh! Gun absolutely totaled, his building damaged. So it is just this AT gun and this T-34. Now he attacks and look what happens. I have 2 Panzerschrecks right here waiting for him. He does not expect this. My Panzerschrecks are absolutely killing him. Boom. Boom, main gun destroyed. I wait for the final shot, the parting shot. Here it goes. Absolutely no way he's getting away. Kaboom. Pull back. And there we go. That's his T-34 down. And finally, another Panzer IV ready to clean it up. And that's it. The Panzer IV comes in. Flamethrowers coming in. Another Panzer IV. And there we go. The machine guns are firing. My tank just starts chasing him down, and that's it. Game over. Well, I hope you enjoyed my first game cast. I'll probably get better as I go on. But thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. There will be more game casts following shortly. Thank you very much. This is an Evil Pac-Man signing out.